This was the hidden economy of Jesus' time, driven by money, debt, and power.
In the time of Jesus, survival was not guaranteed. Most people lived one harvest away from hunger. Judea existed on the edge of the Roman Empire, conquered not to thrive, but to fund Rome itself.
Most families lived by farming land barely large enough to survive. One failed harvest meant hunger. Fishing provided income for many, but taxes and tolls reduced every catch.
Roman roads enabled trade, but also ensured efficient taxation. Taxes were owed regardless of harvest or hardship. Money symbolized control more than wealth. Debt offered temporary relief, but permanent danger. Land slowly moved into fewer hands. Many worked land they once owned, now without hope of recovery.
At the center of Judea stood the temple, sacred, powerful, and deeply economic. Worship required payment, and payment required exchange.
Only specific silver coins were accepted, forcing exchange and fees.
Sacrifice was mandatory and never free.
Even the poorest were required to pay. Rome tolerated belief, but never instability. Festivals multiplied pressure and fear.
Did you see the patrol?
Yes, they suspect something. We meet at the Western Gate tonight.
He spoke of forgiveness, release, and dignity.
This was not just spiritual anger, it was economic defiance.
Disrupting the economy meant disrupting power. Power prefers silence to spectacle.
This was not a religious trial. It was political.
You are guilty. The sentence is death.
Rome ruled through example. Public death was Rome's language of control.
The system appeared to have won.
The idea did not disappear.
They lived by different rules.
The movement spread without armies or wealth. Rome kept control, but lost the story. Economic pressure continued to tighten. Debt became permanent, not temporary.
Many left what little they had behind.
Discontent spread quietly. Order was always monitored. Economic extraction never paused. The institution remained intact.
Time passed, but pressure remained. Nothing fundamentally improved.
Yes. People began to question inevitability.
Some chose another way to live.
Rome saw no real threat.
Change rarely arrives loudly. Sometimes it travels person to person. New ways of thinking spread quietly across familiar paths.
Material conditions changed slowly, if at all.
Pressure does not disappear, it accumulates.
History was moving, whether anyone noticed or not. Pressure, once ignored, eventually demands release.
Rome answered uncertainty with structure.
Uncertainty slows commerce.
Cities feel pressure first.
Institutions often appear strongest just before change.
Scarcity reshapes priorities.
The empire adapted its methods. We must adjust the levies here.
The idea no longer belonged to one place.
Different values coexisted uneasily.
Even stone institutions have seasons.
When a center disappears, systems must adapt. Extraction became more centralized.
Meaning adapted faster than power.
This new way of life, it is strong because we share it.
People reconsidered what power meant.
Systems endure. Meanings evolve. Institutions fade. Stories remain.
Trade adapted and continued. Land rarely returned to former hands. Debt did not disappear. It changed form.
Administration filled the vacuum. Support became personal again.
Oral memory became written record.
New generations inherited old systems.
The structure remained familiar.
Language shapes what people accept. Power learned to speak differently.
Connection outlasted pressure.
We must examine the underlying causes, not just the symptoms. Control depends on explanation.
Attention does not always meet action. Observation replaced reaction.
History rarely hides its patterns. Power lasts longest when it feels ordinary.
Work remained constant. Security did not.
Markets reveal who benefits most. Charity softened hardship, but did not remove it.
Language teaches people what to tolerate.
Power often looks eternal.
Some communities valued people over profit.
Ideas traveled further than armies.
The structure survived belief shifts.
Ideals challenged reality, but did not erase it. Power learns what it cannot crush.
Adaptation proved more effective than force.
Authority adopted the language of virtue.
Structures change slower than beliefs. Time reveals what power alone cannot explain.
For empires, stability outweighs consistency.
Power increasingly relied on moral credibility.
Moral shifts did not dismantle extraction. Charity became structured, not transformative. Moral language entered official power. Rhetoric changed faster than reality.
Belief reshaped how people understood themselves.
Moral reform did not equal economic equality.
Belief sustains what force alone cannot.
Economic systems cast long shadows.
History warns those willing to listen.
Power survives through stories. Systems fail when belief withdraws. Once seen, patterns cannot be unseen. History does not repeat, but it reflects.
Power lasts longest when it feels natural.
The most efficient systems rarely need force.
Stories make structures feel necessary. He challenged not power itself, but its explanation.
Debt was no longer proof of failure.
Systems protect what sustains them.
Power adapts to survive.
Meaning travels where power cannot.
Economies shape belief as much as belief shapes economies.
History does not surprise those who study it.
Seeing the pattern changes how you live inside it.
Systems fall when belief no longer supports them.
History answers questions we are afraid to ask.
The past is never as distant as it seems. History has the answers. You just have to look.